Hi, welcome on to Arsenal Fan TV Transfer Daily. Taking a look at the transfer rumours that are flying around today, and one that's very prominent today is about Eduardo Vargas. He's a Chilean international. We've spoken about him before here on the show. Well, he's been heavily linked today with a move to Arsenal. A lot of media outlets suggesting that it's going to be a loan move from his club that he plays for at the moment, which is Napoli, to Arsenal for 1 year. He was previously been out on loan. He's been out on loan to Gremio. He's been out on loan to Valencia last season, and he's been linked with a loan move to Arsenal. We saw him in the World Cup. Looked very good actually in the World Cup for Chile. He's got a great goal-scoring record for Chile, and you may remember that if you've watched any of the interviews from the weekend, I interviewed a fan who came to watch the game all the way from Chile, and he was, speaking very, very highly of Vargas. Unfortunately, he hasn't reproduced that form at club level. He's struggled at club level, and it'd be rather surprising to me that Arsenal are looking to bring him in on loan because, as I said, he's very unproven at this level. Okay, I suppose Alexis Sanchez is at the club, so the two of them will be able to sort of settle in together as them both being Chile players. But I'd be a bit surprised at this. But then Arsene Wenger continually surprises us. We all know that the Kellstrom signing last year. But this is the rumour going around today that Vargas is going to be coming to Arsenal. He's a striker, of course. A lot of fans suggesting at the weekend that we could do with a striker, but I don't think this is the type of level of striker that the fans were suggesting. They were talking players like Cavani, etc. But Eduardo Vargas being linked. Some of the links have been saying that he even told members of his family. We've heard that one before, I know, many other times, but he told members of his family that he's going to be signing for Arsenal. Other outlets even suggesting the deal will be done by Wednesday of this week, but we're going to have to watch this space and see what happens. At this stage, it is only a transfer rumour that Vargas will be signing on loan for Arsenal. Another player being linked with Arsenal today, and I say linked, very loosely linked when I really read into the stories, is Ezequiel Lavezzi. Plays on the wing, very, very good player, in fact, plays for PSG. They're trying to offload him at the moment. Not cheap, about £20 million, Argentinian international. Again, a very good player. Looked good in the World Cup as well. Works tirelessly, this guy. He's been trying to have contract extension talks with Paris Saint-Germain. Hasn't been going too well. They want him to go, and he wants to find a club. And I don't know, I think that's more where these Arsenal links come from. I just don't see the need for Lavezzi at the moment in Arsenal's team, considering all of the similar type of players that we have. But he's been linked with Arsenal today. Another player, yes, I'm going to say it, Sami Khedira, again being linked again today in the papers. He's been linked all summer, Sami Khedira. His agent apparently coming into London, according to reports, to talk to Arsenal. Really wants the deal to happen now. They're realising that Real Madrid playing hardball over a new contract, and they're not going to sign him up for loads of money. They've got loads of players now in that position. They've bought Toni Kroos, they've got James Rodriguez, and he's realising that he needs to find a new club now. Whether Arsenal, it's been now for a few weeks that Arsene Wenger said he does not want to sign Sami Khedira. He was pretty adamant about that in that interview. He said, we've already got players like that. Whether that's going to happen or not, again, this is one of those ones that you really can't call it. I mean, I've spoken to people that are close to the club, and they've said to me that Arsenal are not interested because they see him as a box-to-box player, the same thing like what Arsene Wenger came out with. But you really cannot call it. It could be a thing that, as I keep saying, that Wenger might just turn around and say, well, you know what, at that price, he's too good a player to not sign. So, listen, we really don't know what's going to happen with that, but I'd say probably 60-40, 50-50. We don't know. I just don't know, to be honest. But he's been linked again today, Sami Khedira. Another winger being linked today, and we've been linked with a lot of wingers today, and that's Bernard. Now, I remember, I think it was last season, he was heavily linked. Was it last season or season 4? He was heavily linked with a move to Arsenal. We were looking for a player who could play. He can play on the left-hand side, he can play on the right. Of course, you saw him in the World Cup playing for Brazil. Wasn't the greatest of tournaments for him. He didn't exactly light it up, but he is a pretty good player. Plays for Shakhtar Donetsk over in the Ukraine now. As we all know, the Ukraine at the moment is being ravaged by war, literally like a civil war over in that country. And a lot of the players are looking to get out, especially the players that are not from the Ukraine, like the Brazilians. We've seen Douglas Costa trying to angle a move away from the Ukraine because he's pretty frightened in playing there. And we're seeing now Bernard, and Donetsk is one of those places actually that is kind of at the forefront of some of the trouble that's going on over there. So Bernard really wants to get out. It looks like Shakhtar will be willing to let him go on a loan move. Again, another winger. Do Arsenal need another winger? I mean, I don't know. And of course, they'd have to cover the wages, which would be probably quite high. But he's been linked with a move again. I think this is more agent talk, where agents trying to see if he can get the best deal for his player out there. And you know, you link him to Arsenal, they've got loads of money, and then you know other clubs might sort of fall in behind. So, but he's been linked with a move to Arsenal today. Bernard, again, I find this one highly unlikely that that's going to happen. And last one just to tell you about was this cheeky one I was hearing about yesterday, that Liverpool approached Arsenal about trying to loan Joel Campbell, with which Arsene Wenger told him to get lost. You know what I mean? And I'm glad he did do that. I mean, imagine loaning Liverpool after that whole thing with Luis Suarez, etc. Imagine they're cheekily coming and asking us about a loan move and get lost. Arsene Wenger's been saying that he's going to be holding on to Joel Campbell, so let's hope that is the case. I really do want to see him given a chance. And of course, he was on the bench for the game on Saturday, so it would suggest that at the moment he is in Arsene Wenger's plans. But Liverpool trying to come and get a loan player off of us. Get out of here. All right, let's get into a few of the comments from yesterday. Luna Quadrado said, I heard that Manolas is another Mertesacker, but not as good. With which he got a reply back from another fan, Hans Clark, who said he will be better than BFG and he's much faster. Of course, Manolas has been linked with a move to Arsenal. We spoke about it yesterday, how a lot of the media are saying that he's had a medical and it's gonna get done this week. Again, we're gonna have to watch this space on this one. Ellis Jones Hoes says Marco Royce, William Carvalho, Costas Manolas, convert Royce into a striker. Could you imagine Royce, Ozil, Sanchez and Walcott? We would be so quick on the counter-attack. With Ozil putting the balls through, we would be deadly. I agree with you there. It would be deadly. Listen, we're only a couple of steps away from having a marvellous team. If the money's there, let's try and get these marquee players in, and just create a great team. We could get certain players in, and then we wouldn't have to go out there and be buying loads of players every season. A bit like when we had the Invincibles. We just had a great team, and every season we just had to add a one name, and that was it. Skillsia, in reply to what I was saying yesterday, he said Cavani wasn't that bad last season. He got about 25 goals whilst playing out wide, which is not bad. I'm not sure if it was as much as 25 goals, but what I was saying is he's playing in a very, very good team last year in PSG, commanding team that won their league very easily. I know he was playing out on the wing, but by his high standards, and even in the World Cup, he wasn't, the all-conquering Cavani that we've seen at Napoli. So, his form hasn't been the same since he's left Napoli. And I don't know, if he came to Arsenal, I'm sure that he'd score loads of goals if those players in behind him, and it might give him, the chance to play in his favourite position, which he plays as that front man right down the middle. That's where he's deadly. That's where he does all his damage. And with the players in behind him supplying the bombs. Yeah, he'd be a great player at Arsenal, but that's price tag. I just can't see it. Stevenio98 says Eduardo Vargas may come on loan. Yes, that's what we've been talking about this morning. Daryl Russell V says Ozil didn't address our problems, and Sanchez doesn't address our problems. I think he's talking about our problems defensively. We do need to get in these defensive players. Just listen, defense is as important as an attack. So, you know, when we haven't got the ball, we've got to have the players who can mop up in behind, and that is why these players are vital. Michael, last year, Michael saying that Metro newspaper saying that the Vargas loan deal is going to go through this week. If this is true, we're probably not going to be going in for another striker until next season. Well, yeah, that would be definite. I couldn't see them getting another striker on top of that. To me, it'd be, if we are looking for a striker and we go for Vargas, we are taking a very easy option to me in signing Vargas. And again, an unproven player. We're not sure if he's going to be any better than what we've got. Alq Card Live 2 says a CDM is a must, and so is a left winger. He said, "Oh my God, please! We have no width on that side. Podolski isn't a left winger; he's more of a left forward. We need somebody like Royce, Draxler, Turan, Di Maria, and we don't need a striker." He said Campbell needs to start ahead of Sonogo, but if we have players who can cross, and Giroud is around these players, we'll be close to winning the Premier League, if not winning everything. And I'm going to finish this one. This is from Al Bundy. He says, Arsenal has 9 strikers. We don't need any more. All right, so he's got the last word there. That's what he's saying. I don't know. Listen, we definitely got a few more positions that we need to fill. I'm really hoping that one of those are a marquee name, but listen, even if they're not marquee names, there've got to be players that can address those situations, good, strong players that can address those situations, because this is where we're going to win or lose the league, trust me. Thanks for watching Transfer Daily today. We'll be back tomorrow. Look out for some new videos coming up today as well. We've got some great stuff coming out, and don't forget to check out all the videos from the weekend's game, and including Chris Hudson, who we caught up with as well at the game. Brilliant interview from him, him saying that he's very optimistic, looking forward to the new season. Thanks for watching Transfer Daily.